Welcome to another edition of Chicago Crossing Model Railroad at the Bench. Today, a quick fix to the Kato, Pullman, and Nippon Sharyo Metra car models. So these are great models. It's even got the green tinted windows, which anybody who has ridden Metra either has loved or loathed or simply thought, why does the world look weird as you sit down and look outside. I've ridden these cars for years. Now, in the center entry vestibule, those windows are actually clear. And on the Pullman models, those are not particularly large windows, but on the Nippon Sharyo models, where all the windows are fairly large, that actually is kind of a gaping difference from the actual prototype. So what we'll do today is remove the green tinted glass from the vestibule windows, and we'll replace that with clear acetate to make these cars look just a little bit more prototypical than they already do. Now the first step is to disassemble the car, and this isn't difficult work, but it is a little bit fiddly to do. As you can see here, the way I opened the base of the car was really just to flex the sides gently but firmly with my fingers. You can also obviously use tools for that. At that point, the bottom slides out, and now the upper deck needs to be removed. That's held in with a few different pins in different areas. What I do is just use forceps, and again, gently but firmly, one side through the other, ease it out of the car. And again, I find that using my fingers to kind of gently flex the body works best. These tints themselves, the windows themselves, are held in with pins up at the top, and the Nippon Sharyo version has a slightly different mechanism for this, but kind of the same. Likewise, here, gentle and progressive pressure is required in order to move those out without breaking either the pins at the top of the roof or without breaking some of the weak points of the window glass. So, as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to do this, but if done carefully, then everything comes out without a problem. The next step is to score the window glass over where the doors are. In this case, I've given a little bit of room to each side since I want the replacement acetate to have an area to sit. And as you can see, I'm initially scoring it with a number 2 blade, and then what I do is I come back with a pair of nippers in order to remove that little piece that I've just scored away. I cut each piece the same, and then I went back and remeasured the amount that I had cut. The reason for this is now I need to actually cut the acetate to size. What I had measured was roughly 3/4 of an inch by 1/4 inch in height, and with that I took a small triangle and scribed some acetate. In this case, the acetate I'm using is actually just packing material from Microtrain's rail car. You'll notice I'm using a paper towel upon which to cut the acetate. This stuff scratches pretty easily. I don't really want scratches in my doorway windows, so I'm being a little careful here. Next up, I'm using canopy glue and a micro brush to apply it over to the area where the acetate sits. Canopy glue is very, very useful because unlike certain cements, it does not leave an opaque or translucent film on the window. Next up, it's a matter of just sliding in the piece of acetate that you cut. Again, here I think a set of forceps is ideal. It allowed me to position that into place over the canopy glue. And at that point, it's really a matter of just letting the glue set. Next up, it's time to reassemble the car. In addition to placing acetate in the vestibule doors, the doors that lead between cars also don't have any window material in them, so I took that opportunity to apply some acetate to those as well. And here's the final look. As you can see, a little bit more prototypical. Clear glass that has no tint in the vestibule doorway windows. So the Nippon Sharyo cars come apart in much the same way as you can see here. They have a lot of similar structures to them. So same deal, is be gentle, be patient, and you can work the material out. Now note, there is actually a way that you can simply cut away that material using a pair of nippers if you just leave the windows installed. You can do that. It flexes the body in some of the same way, and so it's really a matter of user preference. And as you can see here, it's really the same approach once you have that glass out. Everything looks relatively similar. These cars, of course, have a little bit more detail in the windows to denote where the emergency exits are. And that's kind of a cool feature of the model. So here you can see, same again, cutting acetate using a triangle ruler to measure everything and keep everything square. You can see that my Nippon Sharyo cars actually have the Kato lighting kit in there. You can see that little transparent piece sitting on top of the lower deck of the car. Once again, some canopy glue. Here you notice that especially the space in between the two windows is very, very narrow. I'm being very sparing on the canopy glue to make sure that I don't end up getting any kind of smears over where those windows are. Otherwise, it's a quite simple procedure. And so here's the before image of the Nippon Sharyo cars. As you can see, weird green windows in the vestibules. And here's the after. Now there's no tint to them, and so they look much more prototypical as you would actually see were you riding the cars. So that'll be it for this edition of Chicago Crossing Model Railroad at the Bench. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and if there are certain modifications you are interested in making or that you've made to your Metra models, please tell me in the comments below. Interested to know.